Fairfax County's in Northern Virginia. I often ask myself, this is the best county to live in, but for who? Your opportunities depend on your walk of life that you've had in this community. It's home, but it's definitely a place with many challenges that I look to as opportunities to set a model for the rest of the country as to what we can do and how we can be better for everyone. I'm Abrar Omeish, I'm 26, and I'm an at-large member on the Fairfax County School Board. I was the first Libyan ever elected in the country, and one of the first Muslim women elected across Virginia, and the youngest ever in my role. So when I was running, part of my goal was to set a new standard for public service. Not a politician, a public servant. That stayed true to the platform that I spoke about, equity and inclusion for Fairfax County, ensuring that every child has the opportunity to fulfill their potential no matter where they are, no matter who they are, what language they speak, etc. I started in Fairfax County Public Schools in elementary school. It was one of the first times that I was really engaging with kids who were different than I was. But as a kid, it wasn't something I noticed. And that was one of the best things Fairfax County instilled in me. And then as I got older, I noticed how certain kids were falling behind. I had a mom who invested everything to make sure that I was successful. And that's the only reason why I see myself performing in the way that I did. I remember my friend in math, one of my teachers would ask me to come during study hall to help, and it just blew my mind that this girl wasn't gonna make it through algebra because her parents couldn't afford a tutor for her. That left a deep desire to expand that opportunity. Our public school system is where kids start their chance at life. Is our school system successful because we've managed to hit certain test scores by product of having a wealthier community? Or is it because our school system invested that and built that in these kids? Why the Fairfax County School Board specifically? Fairfax County is obviously home, but that aside, I think back at those kids that were left behind when I was in school and how many other hundreds and thousands of them there are. When we think about education and the role that education plays in the broader American dream, and securing opportunity and making sure that folks have an equal chance at succeeding in life. If we're not offering that on the most basic level, then I have to bridge that inconsistency. Because that is an equity issue, that is a justice issue for our community. And my faith calls for otherwise. My upbringing instilled in me higher ideals of investing in the community and correcting the wrongs in my role as a witness towards the conditions in my community. So am I gonna sit back and say it's okay? Absolutely not, and especially when it's home. People have a first impression, and I recognize I am very different than what you close your eyes and imagine as a politician. I had to find a way to break through personality, through ideas. And then there was the age factor. Oh, she doesn't have experience. Oh, she's too young. Oh, life experience counts for something. And it just blew my mind because the entire time I'm thinking about how the voices of so many people are not represented. And not just, the Muslim or minority thing, but those who need the resources most. The reality is that when we don't see the representation, that's actually just reflective of access barriers and other challenges we have to tackle as a society. So that's something I'm now in a position to influence and hope to be able to see change. So far as I'm continuing to push for that on the school board, I'll be here. And I'll continue to fight for equity and inclusion so long as the people continue believing in me and there's room for me to continue that work. My mission is to make sure that I'm fighting for kids, I'm fighting for opportunity, and I'm making sure we live in a community that's a place anyone can succeed.